Recording from Chester County, Pennsylvania, this is Coast to Coast Sports, your weekly breakdown of the Philadelphia Eagles, Los Angeles Rams, and NFL teams from around the league. We're recapping last week, previewing what's ahead, and bringing you all the takes in between. All right, let's hit it. Welcome to Week 14 of Coast to Coast Sports. This episode is sponsored by none other than Restorative Physical Therapy and Rehabilitation in Thorndale, Pennsylvania, one of the only private physical therapy practices in Chester County, offering one-on-one care with a licensed physical therapist. Call 484-378-7987 to book an appointment today. I'm Mike Carnuccio, your host, alongside the Ryan Jonathan Moore. We will have Corey, the Rams fan, Pritchard, joining us in a little bit. And this week, we will be recapping the Rams' dominant victory, as expected, in Glendale, Arizona, over the Arizona Cardinals, in addition to looking ahead to the Rams matchup and revenge against the Detroit Lions coming up this Sunday. We will also discuss the Dallas Cowboys' chances of making the playoffs this year. It's an important discussion because Ryan and I do have a 100 push-up bet on it. But we begin today with the Philadelphia Eagles. And I want to start. There's a few points I want to hit on. And I want to start, Ryan, with something simple. We discussed it multiple times over who, and Philadelphia is discussing it. I know you watched a little bit of our show last week, so you know, if you were able to see what I said, you know where I stand on it. Who, if you had to pick somebody, who do you put the majority of the blame on currently for the state that the Eagles are in? And I don't want to hear like, oh, this, that. They're like, oh, it could be a mix. It's a mix. Who takes the majority of the blame right now?
Right now.
And why?
You ready for this?
Go ahead.
Sidney Brown. I'm kidding. Dude, I'm kidding. I heard you guys be like, you were like, Ryan would get so fed up about this. But honestly, so going in before last week, I definitely thought it was Kevin Patula. But I did think you made great points, in particular that it was more Jalen. And dude, I watched the all 22 with that Shane Huff guy, whatever, on Twitter.
Yes.
And I do agree with your statements. I do think that, and at least in the past weeks, Kevin Patula or whoever's calling the plays, Nick Sirianni, I guess Kevin's calling the plays, but whoever's scheming them up, that we have had guys open and we've had the ability to like make big plays, right? Especially against the Bears. I watched every single snap of that, and it was definitely Jalen Hurts. Where I disagreed was you guys were still kind of trashing the Bears, but the Bears, I think, sorry, not trashing the Bears, about them being a legitimate threat in the playoffs.
No, I have no respect for the Bears.
So
I respect the Bears this much.
But dude,
still to this day, I respect them. Just so everyone knows, dude, zero respect for the Bears. They're trash.
Mike, what wins games? Right, it is the line of scrimmage, and what do the Bears? The Bears O-line dominates games, dude. They're the number one rush offense in the league. Like they were the Eagles last year, but I don't think Caleb Williams is that good.
Their D-line gets owned.
Yes, yeah.
D-line gets owned, so that goes right back in your face on the other side of the ball.
Yeah, but I don't think it's 1-32. I think it's like 1-16-20. I think they're ranked.
No, their defensive line going into the Eagles game was literally 30th in stopping the run.
Yeah, but the Eagles, fair.
In terms of yards allowed and yards per carry on average, if you're taking those two numbers into account.
That's fair.
So you're not wrong. Like I think the Bears could be successful and win with the two things they're good at, and I stated them. They create turnovers, and they can run the ball. I don't think Caleb Williams is good. I think he's a very average quarterback who is waiting to make a mistake like he did in Green Bay. And I think their defense is totally slashable, specifically in the run game. And the moment you get your run game going, you're telling me right now. Here'd be my question, Ryan.
Dude, they dominated us.
Let's say the Packers win the NFC North,
which they will,
and the Eagles win their division. Okay, and the Eagles get the 3 seed. I'm going to give you 3 options for the Eagles to see as the 6 seed coming into Philly: Seattle, San Fran, or Chicago. Who do you want to see right now?
Right now, and you're going to disagree with me. I think it's going to be.
Well, it's a toss up between which two teams?
I think it's between Seattle and Chicago.
Interesting.
So
Wow.
one
I was going to
because,
say San Fran and Chicago.
but dude, I like one. I
Because
haven't
San
watched
Fran
enough.
doesn't have any of their defense left. Nick Bosa's gone and Fred Warner's gone.
I guess, dude, what intimidates me, I'm telling you, what intimidates me is like the Sean McVays of the world. It's really good play callers, and Kyle Shanahan intimidates me, and Ben
Are you afraid of
Johnson.
Brock Purdy?
I'm like, not afraid of him, but I'm not like I think he can be very effective, and I think
I still don't even know who he throws the ball to outside of George Kittle.
CMC.
Jawan Jennings.
I think so, I
I'm,
think I think McCaffrey's our number one target, right, as a
dude,
running
it's
back.
literally McCaffrey and
Yeah,
aged Kittle. Kittle's old as heck now.
he is old.
And Jawan Jennings. So that's their
Yeah.
offense. And their defense, by the way, can you name one guy on their defense right now? Starter. Warner's hurt, Bosa's hurt,
Milton
and their
Williams.
two Greenlaw, and the Latufa or whatever, the safety, both are now in Denver.
Yeah. Yeah. And like, but yeah, so you are right. On paper, like we should want to play the 49ers, but Kyle
Oh no,
Shanahan
no, I think
scares
we should
me.
want to play the Bears actually.
So I would rather, like, I think, dude, did you watch the Bears Eagles game, dude? They literally ran it down our throat for 8 minutes. Like, remember that drive the Eagles had last year against the Steelers that
Sure,
burned 9 minutes of the clock, and
sure, sure, sure.
that is to a T what the Bears did, and we couldn't do anything. We had Jalen
Yes,
Carter, Jordan
yes.
Davis,
Okay,
Zach
well,
Vaughn, N'Kobe Dean.
Carter one. Carter's
Carter's,
playing injured,
yeah, that's
and
why.
two, look at the time of possession. If you look at the time of possession in the Dallas game, from the second quarter, the moment the Eagles went up 21-0, look at the time of possession. The Eagles defense was on the field the rest of the freaking game. And part of it
The whole
was
time.
penalties. So, dude, they're exhausted. Those guys
Yeah.
are gassed.
Yep.
Then they get 4 days because they fly home. It's Monday by the time they even get home. They get 4 days and then they have to play Chicago. They're exhausted. And the first drive,
That's fair.
they let Chicago down the field. They get a stop, and then the Eagles go 3-and-out in literally 2 minutes. And they're like, "Oh, defense back out on the field."
And
Dude, they
dude,
were
yes.
dead.
And dude, some of those penalties against us, dude, I was getting so mad. Like something's got to change with the NFL, dude. With the CFP committee being inept and the refs, dude. Did you see that catch by the Ravens guy that caught the
Yeah,
ball,
yeah,
had two to
yeah. It was
three
a
steps,
terrible. It was a
and they
terrible
said
call.
they said no catch. Like I
It was a
don't
terrible call.
like I can call better on my couch. Just do all virtual. Just have a room full of refs and just
Sure,
watch it virtually and then make the correct call. Sorry.
sure.
I'm going fired up
No,
tonight, dude.
no, no, no. It's good. So
Ah,
you're okay. So you're putting a lot of because that was my argument last week was
yes.
Jalen deserves eight. I'm a big 80-20 rule, right? You know the 80-20 rule.
Yep.
Like in life, what do they like to say? Like 20% of people do 80% of the work or something like that. It's like 80-20 for everything.
Yep.
80% of the blame goes to Jalen. 20% goes to Patullo slash O line. I'm not really blaming Sirianni because I honestly don't think he does anything. I think Sirianni basically does nothing. I think he meets with guys and like
He's just
organizes things.
he's just like a motivator.
Sure. So, but the offensive line is definitely worse. They
Yeah.
cannot run block for their lives this year.
Which I
And
don't
so,
get, but yes.
so I truly think the Eagles' ability the rest of the season is entirely dictated by Jalen.
Yep.
And I think that we actually should, so I personally think Jalen's the problem, but he's also the solution in the sense that last time we went on a 2-game losing streak, I blame Jalen. Jalen played well. Okay, the refs screwed us against the Broncos.
Oh,
Um,
screwed us. We
but
always
but
get
then
screwed, dude.
but then what happens? Dude, we go to New York on a short week, and Jalen is trash. He misses AJ down the middle on a touchdown. He misses Devontae Smith on a
Vontae.
wide open bomb that would have been a touchdown. He throws the pick. I mean, terrible game by him. He was the reason we lost that Giants game. Then
Yep.
we get a time off. He comes back right 10 days later, and he
Yep.
was the reason we beat the Vikings. He torched the Vikings.
Dude. That throw to
So
Devontae was amazing in that one.
yeah, and he had some good throws. He had AJ on a
Yeah.
couple things, and so it's funny because I think like I would simplify it to say this: anyone who argues we need to get the running game going, the running game is what it is at this point. We know what
Yeah.
the running game is. It just
Yep.
is.
Yep.
However, we have seen games, multiple games, where Jalen has showed up and that is the only way the Eagles make a run. And he showed up in big games last year in the playoffs. He showed up against Washington. He showed up in the Super Bowl. I wouldn't really say that he necessarily showed up against the Rams or Packers. I think he was actually terrible in both those games. So,
He
but he
was
still
bad.
won. But the point is, he's shown he can do it. I mean, I don't know if you would. I don't think he will. I think he will. He will do enough for them to win 3 out of the next 5 games, but I don't think it's enough for them to actually make a run in the playoffs.
I
I think the
totally agree.
blame goes to him. I will blame him at the end of the day. If they go on a run, I will praise him. I will give all the praise to Jalen.
Yeah,
Say Jalen deserved credit. He deserved the majority of the credit for them winning.
totally agree. And like I do think your point is right because this is all the talk in the national media about Jalen. Like in
Yeah,
23, when we had the collapse, our run game kind of went down the tube. In 22, I think we were the most balanced offense I've ever seen the Eagles. I think our
we were.
22 offense was out of this world.
It was
Um,
wild.
I think 23 team was overall, sorry, 24 team was overall better because we were just better on both sides of the ball. Like
Better defense.
our defense was amazing. And like if you think about the Super Bowl in 24 versus Super Bowl in 22, I know no one could freaking like cut or whatever on defense because the field sucked. But
I know.
Jalen, I think that was Jalen's best game he's ever played besides that fumble in
Yeah,
22. Like he
yeah,
played better in 22 than 24. And the
yeah. He
24,
did.
like he was pretty much the defense got 14 points pretty much
Yes, yes.
of the 37 whatever before Hurts got benched. But I do agree with your point. Our run game's done. I don't know why we can't figure it out when we have four of the starters. Well, three
It
because
is what it is.
Lane's been out. But you're right. Hurts has to step up like Justin Herbert. And like Justin Herbert has led the Chargers to 8-4, despite having two or three linemen down. He just slings the ball. If Hurts can do that, we can be competitive. But the reason why I'm out on the Eagles and I'm done, and I might not even watch it tonight, dude. I
Yeah, I mean,
might just
I'm going to bed. I'm not gonna
yeah.
watch
I mean, especially with group at 3 a.m.
it. Yeah.
Like, dude. So
So you're are you basically saying? Would you say your argument is what percentage of hope do you have that the Eagles could do something?
and
Are
like
you 0%?
do something. I like for me, it's like okay, like based on where they were winning one or two playoff games, maybe like, making the NFC Championship. I think there's a 0 to 5% chance they do that. I think they're, I think they're cooked, dude. This is like 2023, but worse. 2023, we actually scored. Like I was at the Arizona game when everything collapsed. We
Yeah,
scored
yeah,
35 points in that game.
yeah, yeah. I
We
remember.
can't even, dude. We cannot even move the ball. And dude, I'm
Yeah,
sitting there.
yeah,
Part of me is why I cannot watch it tonight.
yeah.
Sorry, Corey. I was coming yelling.
Welcome, Corey, the Rams
Welcome,
fan.
Corey.
Pritchard.
Corey, can you hear us?
I don't think he can.
All right,
Continue your
I'm
point.
just going to continue.
I can hear you. It was just switching over.
All right, cool. Welcome, Corey.
Thanks.
Um, dude, so part of the reason, so I already committed to go to Sam's house to watch the first half, and I told
Yeah,
them
yeah,
I don't want to watch the game.
yeah.
And I sent the Pelicans game in NBA to watch. Pelicans are 3-21. That is what I'd rather do with my time because it is a 4 hour
Yeah,
train wreck. It is
yeah.
watching
It's
a
hard to watch.
slow card crash.
It's
And
hard to
dude,
watch.
I and then it's going to be 11:15, and I'm going to be so fired up
Yeah,
on Twitter, and I'm just like,
yeah, yeah.
I don't need this in my life.
No, it's not worth it. Just go
Last
to
year
bed.
was amazing. I'm officially done.
So the one other point I'll make about the Eagles, and then
Yeah,
I do want to discuss quick briefly on Dallas.
shocker.
I would argue my argument this season, and I'm saying I said this to Corey last week, is I
Yep.
really don't think the Eagles like when you win a Super Bowl, like to win a Super Bowl and then be 8-2 the year after. I think it is an
Yeah.
accomplishment in itself.
Yeah.
I was
Yep.
talking to Corey about the last time the Rams won the Super Bowl. Their O line got destroyed. I mean, it was a wreck right the next
Yeah, it
season,
was.
and so that happens all the time. It's so hard to be successful in back to back seasons. I have had to take a step back. Specifically, I did this after the Cowboys game when they lost in Dallas. Took a step back and was like, dude, what do they really owe us? Like, if they win
Yeah, it's
this
fair.
division and lose in the playoffs, even if they collapse right now over the next 5 and miss it, like people are gonna freak out. But it's like, and they're gonna people. What people are gonna say is this team has so much talent; they should be a dynasty. And I would still say dude, it is so difficult to be successful the year after winning the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Just to
Not to
go out and be 8 and
mention
2 is impressive.
the
So
NFC is always so much more competitive than the AFC.
I feel that way.
I like I think the
The
AFC
AFC's trash this year.
the AFC is usually very top heavy. It's usually those four teams like Bengals, Chiefs, Bills,
I don't take
Ravens.
anyone in the AFC seriously this year.
Yeah, but
Pats, Broncos.
this year it's Pats Broncos. Yeah, I mean like I definitely agree. Whoever wins the NFC is going to win the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
But yeah,
So, um,
fired up, dude.
so,
Fired
so,
up.
so, what do you? So the last piece, really, Ryan, is do you feel like you still have a chance to win the Dallas bet? And so you feel like yes, it's going to happen because you're saying you think the Eagles collapse over the next five and lose. I guess you're saying they're going to lose three of the last five and Dallas wins out.
100%. Dallas is going to win the NFC East. I'm not. I'm almost ready to double down on that, dude.
It's
I
fascinating. But you don't because it's not. There's almost like I just looked at it statistically, and this is why I made the bet with you. There's almost no chance wild card wise because
correct.
Seattle and the Niners are locked in at this point to 11 wins. If you look at their schedules, and then the Bears and Packers are both locked into 11 wins. So Dallas has a zero. Even if they win out, they're not getting a wild card. Their only path is win out, and they need the Eagles to lose tonight, lose a game to the Commanders, and lose the Bills, which is very feasible. Which is very feasible.
I'm I'm telling you, the Cowboys. I watched the whole Cowboys game against who'd they play on Thanksgiving? Frick, it was a great game.
The Chiefs
The Chief. No. They didn't play the Chiefs.
on Thanksgiving, bro.
Oh, sorry. Um, like this past
Go ahead.
week on Thursday,
The
who did
Lions. The
Lions?
Lions.
Yeah. So Cowboys were better than them, dude. They just shoot themselves in the foot, and CeeDee Lamb got hurt. And I'm telling you, dude, they are going to win out. They can move the ball.
So
The Eagles can
here's
only
the,
dream about moving the ball
dude,
as
dude.
efficiently
I don't
as the
disagree
Eagles.
with you, Ryan. And if the Eagles played the Cowboys right now, the Cowboys would win the game, which they did in
Yes.
Dallas. The problem is they're about to play the Vikings and Chargers, who I don't think are that hard of. But then they go to Washington and the Giants, and Dallas struggles on the road divisionally. They just do. Like
They do.
I,
They're so good
I
at home, though.
really, they are, which is why they're going to win the next two. They're going to be 8-6-1. I think that's just a no brainer. But
Hmm.
in DC and I know DC look the Commanders look terrible in Minnesota, but dude, and they lost Ertz, but like overall they still have Debo, they still have McLaurin. Like Washington could go win a game here or there
Mhm.
with Jaden Daniels. Like I just would not. Oh, they play the Commanders on Christmas Day.
They do.
Thursday, Christmas
They,
Day. That's
dude.
a short week. They gotta fly to DC on a short week, play
Yep.
Christmas Day. I'm just telling you right now, I would not be shocked if they lay an egg either in Washington or in New York. That's why I'm telling you, if the Eagles win tonight, the division's over. Like the Eagles have to lose tonight. If the Eagles beat the Chargers tonight, it's done. Dallas has zero chance. And I actually am cheering for Dallas to win out so that they don't even get a top 15 draft pick. If the Eagles win tonight, Dallas could finish 10-6-1, and they would end up with the 17th pick in the draft. They wouldn't even have a top 15 pick.
That would
When
be,
they
that would, like, yes. I mean,
It would absolutely screw them,
part of me is so
which is
torn,
awesome.
and I hate that I made this bet because I hate the Cowboys, and I don't want them to go
100%.
anywhere, but I want to win this bet for pride. And because, like, I always gotta say, trust your eyes, trust the eye test. My test says the Eagles are hot garbage and the Cowboys are fire.
But Ryan, okay, it wouldn't be crazy if in these last five games the Eagles lose tonight, go beat the Raiders at home, lose to the Commanders, lose to the Bills, and beat the Commanders at home. That would not be that crazy. And then the Cowboys go to either Washington or to New York, and they lay an egg just like they did against the Lions. They shoot themselves in the foot again because that's what the Cowboys do.
So
They finish strong 9-7-1, and they don't make the playoffs. That's like literally almost expected at this point.
hold on. So if the Eagles win three of the five games left,
There's nothing Dallas can do. Even if they win out, they don't make the playoffs.
but so
Which is why
they have four
I'm
more
telling
games.
you, the Eagles have five. I'm telling you, they need to win three. If they win tonight, they
Yeah.
will beat the Raiders and they will beat the Commanders once the division's over. The only chance Dallas has is if the Eagles lose tonight. If the Eagles win tonight, it's over. Dallas is statistically done. Well, not literally statistically, but so the funny thing is, I was talking with someone about this at the office. If the Eagles lose, they basically, I know everyone's like saying the Chiefs are done, but the Chiefs' path right now, if they were to have any, would be the Chargers collapsing.
Yeah,
And
it
if you
would.
look at the Chargers' schedule, Chargers are about to play Eagles in Kansas City against the Chiefs, at the Cowboys, Texans at the Broncos.
That could be 0 and
So,
4, 0
dude,
and 5.
that's
Well,
5 games. They could go
1
one
and
and four.
4.
The
Eagles
Chargers
are
could
going
go
to win
one
the
and
Eagles game.
four, and the Chargers could finish 9-8. And if the Chiefs win out, I know everyone's like saying, well, the Chiefs are terrible. But if the Eagles lose tonight, the Chiefs are done. Like they are done. Any
Yeah.
glimmer of hope is over because the Chargers are that have 9 wins and it's over. So I just love the fact that either way, the Eagles either end the Cowboys' chances or they end the Chiefs' chances, no matter what, by the end of tonight. One of them is done.
The
That's a
So
positive
that's a
outlook.
it's a positive outlook. Now I'd rather Dallas. I'd rather see. I don't know because I want Dallas to like have hope and then be crushed. So like I'm like also a little bit torn. Like I almost want like the optimal. If you said Mike, what's the optimal finish here? The Eagles lose tonight. Dallas is hype. Dallas wins the next two, and then Dallas just chokes in New York against the Giants, and goes finishes 9-7 and wins,
dude,
and
is it?
So,
doesn't get
so let
it.
me ask you this. Do you think the Eagles have a realistic chance at winning a Super Bowl if they were to make the playoffs?
No.
No.
So wouldn't
So
you
so
want the Eagles to lose out regardless of the Cowboys because you'd get a better
no.
draft?
No. We at this point we are. I'm not. Okay. Am I? If I'm more of an Eagles fan or an anti-Dallas fan? I am more of
That's
an
the question.
anti-Dallas fan. I want
Are you?
Dallas. I want their fans to be
Yeah.
just absolutely emotionally and
hmm
spiritually crushed.
To Mike's point,
So
I would rather get a worse draft pick to make sure the
Yes.
Cowboys don't get into the
Yes.
playoffs.
And the Cowboys are hurting their draft stock anyway as well. Like there's a chance we finish just ahead of them. We win the division and we're like the 19th pick and they're the 17th pick.
hmm,
Based on if we lose in the first round of the playoffs. So we basically have the same pick, yet they suffer. I mean, Corey, if I put it like that, it would be like if you're in our place and the Niners are the Cowboys, you would still love to see the Niners suffer and just miss the playoffs instead of you guys, even if you knew
I
you guys probably
I
would.
honestly think I would want the Rams to not make it because I have more of the long term. Like if we get a Justin Jefferson in the draft, I can make the 49ers suffer for the next 5 years.
It's a fair point.
Even if the Eagles were to collapse and lose like for the next five, they're still at best getting like probably a fourth, 13th pick. So it's like 13th or 19th. It's like not that significant in my opinion. They're not getting a top 10 pick. Dallas could have, if Dallas had lost to the Eagles 2 weeks ago and then tanked, they would have been like, I did the numbers on it, they would have been like the sixth pick in the draft. And
Oh, because they had like
instead,
3 or 4 wins. Yeah.
yeah, instead they could be 17th pick and miss the playoffs.
Hmm.
Although I talked to people and they argue that momentum going into so like let's say your team's done, they're not going to make the playoffs. Momentum going into like end of season, like winning 3 or 4 games or 4 or 5 games matters more to a lot of people I talk to than a better draft pick, believe it or not. And they think drafting comes down to how well you draft either way. So
All right. So I know I have to hop off soon because I'm going to go watch a train wreck for an hour. Um, on the last pod, you guys said based on Herbert's availability, you would like I guess people have the option to change their prediction. I know Corey,
yes,
you picked the Eagles,
Yep.
and Mike, you also picked the Chargers with me. Do we still
I
want
took
to
the
stick?
Chargers with you.
Do you also want to stick with those predictions? How are we feeling?
I'm sticking with
No
the
question.
Eagles. More so because I need to do something different from you guys to climb
Yeah,
back
he's
because
trying to do
Mike has a
something.
tiebreaker with me, and Ryan, you're so far ahead. I'm in dead last. I have to do something opposite to climb back here.
I've been processing it because I was like, yo, Herbert's play, and my argument was if Herbert plays, I'm going to take the Chargers. Um,
hmm My favorite
it's
part
not
of
even,
the. Go ahead, Mike. Sorry.
yeah, it's not even because of the Herbert. Actually, it's because Jalen Carter's out,
Lane Johnson.
Plus Sidney Brown's playing, and they're getting a Mario Hampton, their starting running back.
We're
And
done.
I think they're going to really push the ball running well. And so I think they're going to rely on their run game, run clock that way. And I just think our offense is what it is. Like it's fully reliant on Jalen. I think Jalen it just struggles to see the field. We'll
Hmm.
have a lot of 3-and-outs in this game, and I think they'll have the ball for a long time. So I'm gonna stick with the Chargers because of that.
My favorite. So Corey, I have a thought for you, but my favorite part of the pod last week was
Mhm.
you guys trying to figure out how many wins I'm up by. I
We figured it
literally,
out.
I
We did.
literally, I
I thought it
listened
was
to it.
3, and it's 4.
I listened to it and I re-listened to it again because it made me so happy.
So-
Dude, at this point, we're
But
gonna do playoffs, but we're almost like running out of time to like come back.
I know.
yeah, all right. Here's what we're gonna do.
He
So
has a 4 game
Ryan
lead on
Ryan
us right
picks
now.
Ryan picks first every week,
yeah,
and
that's
we
what I was
get to
gonna
decide
say.
if we go against it.
Yeah,
Um,
and honestly, like
so
this year's been great because I don't think I think I got one Rams game wrong the whole time because they're so good. But Corey, I'm surprised, like just for Juju or I don't know if you like think about stuff like that, but right, if the Eagles win tonight, right, they're
Hmm
9-4, right,
hmm
right, Mike,
the
and
Eagles would be 9-4 with a win.
correct, and the Rams are 10-3, right?
Right.
So
Right.
like that
The
would mean
Rams
that
still
would
have
mean
to
that
play in Seattle.
yeah.
Mhm.
So like
That's their only tough game left. So in theory, if the Eagles win tonight and then they
we're
beat the
still a
Raiders, they're it's funny because the Eagles are teetering on collapse or oh wait, they're in contention for the one seed,
no
which is like
literally.
classic.
It's because we only have to finish tied with the Rams at the
I
end of the
know,
year to
I know.
to win the number one seed, pretty much. Like, and we're only if we win tonight, which I don't think we will, but we're only one game behind. So, Corey, does that like do you think about that when
Dude,
you're
if I'm
when you're
him, I'm
picking,
not
or
nervous about the Eagles
you're
at
not even
all.
Se-
worried
I'm
se-
nervous
about it?
about the
separate
Seahawks.
boxes.
Separate
Separate
boxes.
boxes.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's fair. I know. I wouldn't be
Corey,
worried
who
either.
makes you more nervous? Well, the Eagles shouldn't even be in that. The Eagles, the Seahawks, the Niners, or the Bears.
Seahawks.
Seahawks
That's
one.
what
Who would
Mike
be
said.
second? Probably Niners.
Probably Niners. Yeah.
Third, don't you
Eagles.
dare say the Bears.
Bears don't make me nervous. The
Bears are
Bears are the
trash,
team I
dude.
want to play in the
Yes,
playoffs.
same. Give me
Mike
Caleb Williams, baby.
Yeah.
Mike and I like argued that for the first 10 minutes of the pod was where the Bears should be ranked.
Dude, there's a chance if the Eagles get the 3 and the Bears can get the 6 seed, Tyler comes back to Philly. I'll take that all freaking day.
All day. All right. So I got to go. So I'm going to
Yeah,
do
you're off, Corey. We'll do another. We'll do a
no, no, no.
different one that you could upload the Zoom. You could bring up the Zoom and we'll talk Rams.
Yeah, so
Cool.
I'm going to do my predictions now.
Yeah, yeah. Go ahead.
All right, hold on. Let me get the. All right, I'm ready for you.
Get this
So you
going.
got to
'cause
do
you're doing
Rams versus
prediction for
Lions,
Sunday.
and you have to do
Yes.
Eagles versus Raiders.
All
Yep.
right. So I'll start with the Eagles. So despite me,
Pick the Raiders.
thinking the Eagles are actually
The
done,
Raiders.
Pick the
which
Raiders. Pick the
which
Raiders.
which
Pick the Raiders.
dude, I was like, what's in my ear? I I cannot in good conscience,
Raiders.
unless Mike Venmos me $5 right now, pick the Raiders at the link when they're 13-point underdogs. The
Dude,
Raiders,
I'll
the,
take 10 push-offs off of the push-ups you owe me for Dallas.
dude, I'll
Give me
take
100. I'll make it 90.
okay, I'll take the Raiders spread.
You know what? That is so dumb. It's literally 12 and a half. That's so dumb.
Yeah, I know. All right,
Because the
so
Raiders are hot garbage. Continue.
yeah. So honestly, you guys are the Eagles versus me, the Rams, in our prediction status. So I don't think you have much shot, but we're gonna roll with it. So the Eagles are gonna beat the Raiders at home. I even
Yep.
think a collapsing Eagles team could beat this team. One of their only wins is against the Titans, which is the other bottom feeder of the league. So I'm gonna go Eagles
Oh, God.
24-17. I do think it'll be relatively close because it'll be ice cold. We also might go to this game. So Mike knows every game I go to, it comes down to a last second defensive stand is needed.
Yep.
And so next we have where's the game?
Rams, Lions.
Rams Lions Sunday
Pick the Lions.
4:25.
Pick the Lions. Lions. Say the Lions. Say the Lions. Lions.
All right, so I'm actually going to pick Detroit.
Yes. I
Part
love it.
so I I think the Rams
Lions are trash.
last week, right? Their only way to lose is to self-inflict, which is kind of what
Yes.
Stafford did. I think he had 3 or 4 turnovers, 2 picks.
He had two
Um,
picks and a fumble, and the fumble was not at a good time in the game.
and yes, and honestly, I'm at a point now where I don't think I'm going to pick against the Rams the rest of the season. I do think they're going to still win at Seattle. And then they play the
Ooh,
Falcons and the
they
Cardinals.
do own the Seahawks.
We do,
Yeah, and like
typically. But
I
this is
do
the
agree
best
with Corey.
Seahawks.
Corey, if we
Okay.
take Seattle in Seattle and then the Rams beat the Lions, lose to the Seahawks, we can pick up 2 games just like that.
I can't take Seattle.
So I do think it's not the best decision to pick the Lions, but I watched their entire game against the Cowboys, and I do think I don't know, like their offense is very fun to watch. They have such great talent with Jamison Williams, Jahmyr Gibbs, St. Brown. And St. Brown was hurt, so I think
Yeah,
if the Rams lose any game this year, it's going to be this one.
yeah.
But I'm going to go like 24-23, and I do think Detroit will travel well to LA, and there's gonna be a lot of blue.
I
So,
might be at that game. Also,
Whoa,
oh,
also the Rams are blue too, so there's going to be a lot of
that
blue
is true, dude.
there.
true, true, true. So,
Um,
yeah,
yeah.
Lions and Eagles for next
All
week.
right. It's recorded.
Sweet.
Cool.
Alrighty.
All right,
Well, we're
guys.
going to take a little break. We'll be right back to discuss Rams Cardinals. Ryan, we won't have you on, dude. We will see you next week.
Bring more fun to your rounds with Birdie Board, the golf app designed for matches with friends. Choose the format you love: stroke play, match play, Stableford, with or without teams, handicaps or not. Invite your friends, and Birdie Board does the rest. Just enter your score and focus on the fun, while we keep track of everything, including stats like lowest score and worst hole. Download Birdie Board today on the App Store or Google Play, and let the
Okay.
games
Welcome
begin.
back to Coast Sports, Week 14. Mike Carnuccio alongside Corey, the Rams fan, Richard. I've now nicknamed
It's
you
my
that.
actual little name. Just the Rams fan. So I was saying, I think I might go to the Rams Lions game.
Yeah. So when are you going to fly out? Like
So
Friday?
I have a work trip in LA
Yeah, yeah, you
next
said.
week, and I have to be there on Monday. So what I'm doing is I'm flying out of here at East Coast 6 a.m. But because of time change, I end up landing at like 9 a.m. and it's a
Okay.
1 o'clock game there. I haven't even gotten the tickets. What I'm gonna do is land and just see if I can snag some
Yeah.
good tickets. I even thought about waiting. I think you might have done this before.
Oh, yeah. We did
Waiting
this for the
until the
Eagles.
first quarter starts and then
Yep.
buy the tickets.
We
And
did it. It's kind of mixed, but we did it
mhm.
last year and it worked. I mean, they cut in half.
Yeah, I've already looked. Like I checked a few days ago. I think the cheapest ticket you could get outside of the top row was like maybe $700, and I'm already seeing those tickets drop down to like
Oh my,
500.
that's how expensive the tickets are.
Yeah, they're expensive right now. This
Why?
the standing only tickets are like 180. I guess
Wow.
LA actually has Rams fans, or it's all the Detroit fans.
Yeah, I guess it's dude, I'd be like, I mean, you don't have to follow this, but this is what I love to do. We did this with our group of like 8 last year.
hmm
You buy standing room only.
hmm
You wait until the game starts. Halfway through the first quarter, you buy standing room only for like $150, maybe less, 120. And then you just look up on the TickPick app or the Ticketmaster app what seats are still available. You click on the seat. It'll start a timer, give you that amount of time to like buy the ticket. And then you just go sit in the seat.
Yeah,
And then when the timer runs out, you click out and click back into the seat again. Now, the owner of the ticket could technically show up, but if they don't, you could just sit in the seat.
problem is the standing only is like $200 right now too. And
Well, yeah,
I don't know what it would be like in SoFi. Like the Eagles Stadium, so you know how to get around and like that you can pretty much access just about any seat at the Eagles Stadium.
everything's on your phone nowadays. It would just depend if they like made you show them your seat. Like in
Yeah.
Philly, they don't. In Philly, it's like you just go sit. I mean,
When I went to the Titans game earlier this year, they were the same way. But then again, half the Titans stadium was empty. So
Yeah, so it didn't matter.
yeah. But
Um,
a part of me is like, this will probably be this is the first time I'm going to SoFi, and I probably won't go to it again for many, many years.
yeah,
So I probably would end up just getting a ticket if I went, just because I wouldn't want to waste my opportunity of being there.
sure.
But we'll see if the tickets drop enough. If not, I think it will just be fun to be in LA during a Rams
Yeah,
game.
yeah, I agree. It'd be awesome. Well, let's recap this week, and then we'll look ahead to Rams Lions. Rams with a dominant victory, 45-17, as expected. Matthew Stafford was 22 of 31 for 281 and three
In
tuds.
three
Puka
quarters.
Nacua in three quarters, literally.
Yeah.
Puka Nacua had 7 catches for a buck 67, 2 touchdowns at the break, and that's dominance right there. But I'd really say actually the story for the Rams is 249 rushing yards, majority between Kyron Williams and Blake Corum, and 3 touchdowns between those guys. What would you say was your, I mean, nothing was surprising, biggest takeaway from Rams win in Glendale?
I think the Rams double rushing attack is kind of surprising me. We already have a strong pass offense with Devontae Adams and Puka Nacua, but
Mm,
I would have never expected Corum to start getting as many carries and yards as Williams.
yeah,
Especially he's been on the team for a couple of years now, and he's never really been like a 1-2 punch type of running back. He's always just come in to alleviate Williams for a play or two. Um, I tell you, there is a pattern with the Rams. As soon as we pay a running back, their
yeah,
backup starts doing really well. It's
yeah. You
happened
said
for
this.
so many years. Um, but it's just makes the Rams offense so much like how do you're already trying to figure out how to stop Puka and Nakua, and now you have to deal with a 1-2 punch at running back. We
Yep,
had 530 yards of offense, and our starters were only in for three quarters.
yep,
It's like the Rams are peaking right now in a
yep,
way, and I hope that doesn't mean that we start going back downhill, but
yeah.
they're fun to watch, my word.
And I mean the key really is I like to break things down into okay, so like what's most important for the Rams now moving forward? One, stay healthy, right?
Yes.
Protect
Mhm.
Stafford. Don't let. I mean, you have two running backs, so literally one of them get hurt. I don't even know if it would matter, but
Yeah,
you want to keep Devontae. I think we've talked about this, and Nakua healthy because the moment one of those guys is involved, it's just a different threat offensively.
it is.
Um,
Because right
and then
now
make sure.
teams are like, who do we cover?
Yes.
Where if one of them goes down, they're like, okay, we know who we need to cover now.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
And it would definitely change the dynamic of the offense. Um, so definitely stay healthy, right? And then I would say you guys are back into the 1 seed after the Bears loss because they're trash. And um, and so now, I mean, again, it's completely in your hands. If you guys went out, 1 seed is yours. Um, even if you, well, the only game that you're really that at risk of dropping, in my opinion, is Seattle. I don't take the Lions that seriously, but you could lose to the Lions, still easily get the 1 seed. You could lose to Seattle, still get the 1 seed, just depending on what those teams do.
I think this thing that scares me is losing to both the Lions and Seattle. Now,
Really,
we
you
haven't,
that thought
we,
passed your mind?
yeah, because we haven't beaten the Lions
Yeah,
um, ever since we've
yeah,
gotten Stafford.
that's
And
true.
then
It's wild, actually.
we beat the Seahawks once already this year. You know, it's hard to beat the same team
It
twice.
is very true.
And we're going to Seattle, and it's potentially going to be the game that decides the division. Like
Yeah,
Seattle's going to bring us their best football all year long. Like we're going to be seeing trick plays, we're going to be seeing new plays and we're going to be doing the same thing. But I think it's different as an away opponent. Sometimes I think that helps the Rams, as we've talked about.
yeah,
Um, but that is my number one worry is that we're gonna drop both the Lions and the Seahawks. We're gonna make the playoffs no matter what, and I don't think any team's gonna want to play us in the playoffs. But
yeah,
that's probably like the worst case scenario in my mind.
yeah, yeah. It is. Um, the other thing that's interesting to note is Seattle's. It's just funny how the schedule changes based on how things go, right, week to
Hmm.
week. So um, now that Daniel Jones goes down and the Colts just look like they're falling apart, Seattle plays the Colts this week, and all of a sudden they're 13.5 point favorites. That game becomes a cakewalk for them.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you just have the Seahawks who, let's look at
I
their
mean,
last three games.
it could flip after this week.
Yes. Coming off their bye, outside of playing in LA against you guys, they played at the Commanders with Marcus Mariota, or that was the game that Jay Daniels got hurt. And it wasn't even close. They played the Cardinals, the Titans, the Vikings, the Falcons, and now the Colts. I mean, that might be the easiest stretch
Yeah.
that there's been over the last 6 weeks.
Yeah.
So they really haven't played like a decent team. I understand, like you still need to win games, right? However, after they play the Colts, they will play you guys at the Panthers, at the Niners. That's a pretty tough finish.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, us, even, and we've seen the Panthers this year. Like, they're definitely better than, what were they last year? 2-win team, I think, 3-win
Yeah,
team.
no, the Panthers,
Like,
especially when you're going to Carolina, dude, they're formidable.
Yeah, they're a lot better, and that organization has hope now. They're trying to finish strong, lead into next year, riding this high.
Yeah.
Seattle scores a lot of points too. They have more points for than the Rams right now. They have 387. We only have 379.
It's close.
And another thing that scares me too is, you know what beats both of us is the Detroit Lions at 394. So the Rams are playing some really high scoring.
I just don't take the Lions that seriously. I don't know. Maybe I should.
I don't know.
I took the Lions so seriously at one point, and seeing them falter in Philly and to Green Bay at home on Thanksgiving, I was like,
I don't think I'm not taking them as serious as last year. What I'm taking them as is a team that can legitimately beat us. It's not like we're playing the Cardinals, and they are definitely a step above the Panthers.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I would agree. And so it's good. I mean, it's going to be interesting because I'm still holding to the fact I really do think. I thought this to myself middle of the year. People were arguing this year in the NFL is more wide open than it's ever been. There's and for a couple reasons. One, the Broncos and Pats, I don't think anyone's taking them that seriously in the just because they haven't been there. In the NFC, you've had the Rams to me have been the stick out team, and I guess you could put the Seahawks there, but they're duking it out in their own division, and one of them's not even going to be able to be at home. They're going to be on the road. So it just there's so much that's open,
so it's open, but I think it's more open on the AFC than the NFC side. If you look at like the top 6 teams in the AFC, most of them are like going to be new players to the playoffs. Where if you look at the top teams in the NFC, Rams, Packers, Eagles, Bucks, Seahawks, Niners, like the only real new team is the Bears out of that group.
I guess the reason I would say it's open is, let's say, like, I don't take the Bears seriously. Let's say they collapse and the Lions are in. So it's Lions, Niners, Seahawks are your wild cards. Dude, those are legit wild card teams.
They are.
Any of those 3 teams could make a run at it. In fact, the only teams I really wouldn't take that seriously would be the winner of the NFC South, which would be like the Buccaneers, because they just don't. And if they, depending on if the Eagles, if the Eagles are just looking the same as they looked all year of the next 5 weeks and they limp into it, you're not really taking them that seriously. But my point is, I would actually take the Rams, the Packers, and then all the wild card teams more seriously at that point.
Yeah.
But I actually am arguing. So I think people are saying, like, for the last however many years, it's been like, oh, it's going to be the Chiefs. Like the Chiefs, 15-2 last year. The year before they won the Super Bowl. The year before they won the Super Bowl. That is now gone, right? There's free game now. I think the last couple of years that everyone just assumed, like, okay, even though the Chiefs are barely eking it out, like the Chiefs have the experience, they have the home, they just have it. Like, there's nothing you can really do about it, right? Which has turned out to be true. I don't see that anymore, right? I think that's what people are trying to say.
We don't have that dominance, because if we were going to see that dominance coming in, it would either need to be the Chiefs or the Eagles.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So now that we have these new teams stepping up, it just makes more of this general opening. And I think in the midst of that, I don't know why, I just thought this middle of the year, I think the 1 seed in the NFC is going to the Super Bowl. I really do think it comes down to who gets the 1 seed, who gets the bye. I think that team's going to represent the NFC. I don't agree with that in the AFC. I think the AFC is just way crazier, and I could see the Broncos and Pats both just falling apart at home because they just don't have the experience and they're young.
I totally agree. I don't know if you said it or Ryan, whoever wins the NFC is going to win the Super Bowl. I can't
Yes,
see any
yes,
threat from even if the Broncos make it or the Pats, like they're just going to be so inexperienced by the time they get to the Super Bowl.
yes.
It's going to be
Well,
like when
and
the Rams
not
first
even that. But
won.
what would you if you right now had to put your money on? Would you take the top two? Okay, how would I say this? Would you take the number 1 seed in the AFC or the field to make the Super Bowl in the AFC?
Probably the field.
Would
I
you
don't
take the
think
top 2 seeds of the field? You go top two at that point? Because I would still take the field
I
personally.
think so. The field, as of right now, would still have
Jags,
the
Steelers, Bills,
Bills
Chargers,
and the
Texans.
Chargers. And the Jags, I think, are sneaky good. I don't take the Steelers that seriously, but yeah, I mean,
And then again, you still. I mean, I know the Ravens. Everyone's like down on them now. They still have. They're 1 game back of the Steelers at this point, and they play the
yeah.
Steelers again. So it could end up being the Ravens
If
with
the I
Lamar.
mean, this would be a no-brainer, I think, if the Ravens were sitting in that fourth spot right now, but it's hard for me to consider that because then it's really the question of like Broncos versus Patriots or Bills versus Chargers if you don't really take the Steelers or Jags that serious. And the
I
Chargers,
just
I
think
feel like are limping a little bit.
it's but to me, it's not even about who the Texans, Chargers, Bills, Steelers, Jags are. It's just that I just don't view the Pats and Broncos as like that. I don't
No.
really trust
So,
them.
both of them are going to be like what I was trying to say earlier when the Rams played the Bengals with Burrow.
Yes,
One of them could make the Super Bowl, but that inexperience at the
yes,
quarterback position
yeah,
will come out, and
yes.
they're going to end the season thinking, "Wow, this is an incredible year. It's incredible outlook. We have a good team for years to come. We have our quarterback." Like both of those teams are going to walk away this season with that feeling. I don't think either the Broncos or the Pats will make
Yep,
or win the Super Bowl. I think they could make it. I don't think
yep,
they'll win it though.
yep, yep. So we agree that we think the 1 seed is the one doing it. That's why I would argue at this point, if the Eagles were going to make any sort of a run, they have to win tonight, and then I would assume they have to beat then the Raiders, which would be expected, and then they have to finish the season with 2 out of 3 wins and finish basically. That would put them at 12-5, and I don't even know if 12-5 would be good enough at that point. Um, you could almost argue if that's our argument, it's between the Rams and Seahawks for the 1 seed.
Yeah. It's kind
Really?
of
I
like
mean,
the NFC North last year between the
yes.
Lions and the Vikings.
And then of course the Lions collapsed, which was pretty shocking. But it's also go back and look at the stats. Right, I've looked at it
Hmm.
before. The 1 seed in the playoffs makes the Super Bowl a lot.
Hmm.
It is very common that the 1 seed makes the Super Bowl. So it's not like if we looked back at the last 10 Super Bowls, how many of times was it 1 seed versus 1 seed? It's very common.
I think it would be a big advantage for the Rams to have home field. Not from the point of fans, but the Rams do
Yes,
better when they have a expected environment in terms of weather.
yes,
Um, and I see like when we lost to the Panthers, it was just a downpour game. It was raining the whole time.
yep,
It just, I mean, they're just used to being in LA in perfect weather, and I think you see that, and we saw that. I don't think it's this drastic, but when the Dolphins went to the Chiefs in the playoffs a couple years ago and just got
yes,
smoked, and
annihilated.
everyone was saying on the Dolphins like, "Oh yeah, we're going to be fine with the cold weather and all of that," but like they weren't. They're not used to it. I don't
Yeah,
think it's that drastic with the Rams, but I do think there's an element of that with the
sure,
Rams.
sure.
When the conditions are right, we it's just a factor the Rams don't think about and they play better.
Yeah, it's true. And you're looking at right now, right? I mean, going to Seattle's cold, going to the Green Bay's cold. If Chicago did something, go to Chicago's cold, going to
Yeah.
Philly's cold. I mean, I'm trying to think of where you go that's not cold. I like
Yeah.
Most of the other
Yeah.
options, if you guys don't get that 1 seed, well, sorry, there's a good chance you go to Tampa. You'd go to
Yes.
Tampa
Yeah.
because you'd be the 5 if you did if Seattle took it, you'd be the
Right.
5. You guys would go to Tampa. That wouldn't be terrible. And then there's a chance you then go to Seattle or to Green Bay.
Honestly, it's going to Seattle wouldn't worry me, but just because
Yeah.
we have so much experience there.
Yes.
Like
Yes.
the weather isn't as much. Going to Green Bay, I
Yeah.
would not want. Going
Yeah.
to the Eagles, I
Dude, at
think it'd
some
be
point, you guys have to beat the Eagles. I mean, it's
yeah,
been three. This is my whole argument with the Lions, which I will get to into. Is like, dude, how many times can you lose to a team in a row before
right,
like it's time to beat them? Right.
right. And so we've played them. This will be our fourth time
Yeah, that's what I was going to
playing
ask.
them.
Since the trade happened, you guys lost in Detroit on the opening night last year. You lost in the wild card round the year before, right? To end it, so you did end the
Yeah,
season, start the season,
right.
and then when was the other loss? Was that a few years before that?
I thought I think we played them at home. What year was Stafford traded? I thought we played them at home that year. So the Ram
How
received
many
a
times have the Rams played the Lions since Matthew Stafford and Golf were traded? Let's go. Little Gemini,
yeah,
Google
right.
AI mode. 4 times since that trade.
I think
Three,
they're
3-1. So October 24th, 2021,
yeah,
Rams won 28-19.
yes.
And then the
And then
Lions won in the wild card.
hmm
The Lions then won to open the season. Oh, sorry.
right.
No, this will be the fourth time. This
I
game.
guess to be honest, I didn't remember the Rams winning back in 2021. I for some reason I remembered that as a loss.
Did Stafford and Golf both play when the Rams and Lions played on October 24th, 2021?
You know what?
Both of them played.
It makes sense because that was the year the Lions pretty much didn't improve at all. That was Dan Campbell's first year, wasn't it?
Yes,
Where they went like
I think it was.
they were still like the same old Lions that year.
So Stafford went 28 to 41 for 334 yards, 3 touchdowns. He had a QBR of 117.3. Golf was
Yeah.
22 to 36 for 268, a touchdown and 2 picks.
The Lions that year, they
Was that in
started,
LA? Was that in LA?
it was in LA, and they started 0-11-1. They had a tie game,
Oh my gosh, dude, that's
or
a
a zero
nightmare.
ten and one. They played
That's
us, and then
wild.
they played the Eagles right after that. They
That's
were,
why we don't remember it.
yeah, they tied with Pittsburgh 16-16 the week after that. They
That
got
is
their
wild.
first win versus Minnesota. And they honestly didn't finish that great either. They finished 3-3
Yeah,
from week 13 on. Their season was over at 13-1. That's why we
yeah,
don't
yeah,
remember it is and honestly, I do kind of remember like this is what like I remember having the thoughts this is why we got rid of Goff.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah. So you guys are about to play them obviously Sunday, 4:25 in LA. It'll be 125 local time. Rams currently are favored by 5.5. What would you say is I'm going to ask a two-part question. What is the
Okay.
matchup you're most looking forward to? And it could be the same answer. And what
Okay.
scares you the most about the Lions?
I'll start with the scare because I know that off the top of my head is
Yeah,
them just being able to put points up
sure.
and it's going to force our offense to keep up. And I think we can, but the problem with that is whenever we've been in games that we have to keep up point wise, it just it can go either way at the end.
Yeah,
It's like it feels like it comes down to a coin flip. So that makes me most nervous.
yep.
I think the thing I am looking forward to most is I don't know if I have one specific thing in mind. It's more of a broader point of view.
Okay.
The Lions aren't as good as last year, but I think they're still one of the better opponents that we played this year. And I
Yes.
think it's an opportunity to show that the Rams are a legit contender. I don't think many people are questioning it at this point, but I love
No.
whenever we have opportunities to prove it and then we go out there and show it.
Yeah.
Imagine the Rams walking away from this next game, winning by 2 touchdowns or something like that. Um, it's going to be like Rams won't be in the media anymore because everyone's just going to assume they're going to be the first overall seed.
Yeah.
I feel like if we had that sort of dominant win, that would be such a good takeaway for the Rams to just show that like we're ready
Yeah.
for the playoffs. We're ready
Yeah.
for these above average better teams and we can win
Yeah.
them with great control. Um, I would love to see Stafford beat Detroit.
Yeah.
I'm super interested to see how Corum and Williams continue to play out. That seems kind of
Hmm.
like a late thing
Hmm.
that's been blossoming the last couple weeks, and I think that's cool. Now, if you look at Corum though, he's still not getting a ton of carries. He only got 12, and he hasn't gotten a ton the last
He averaged
couple weeks
11,
either.
almost 11 yards a carry. It's
Yeah,
ridiculous.
he's just so explosive. And Nakua, I mean, you could name anything really, but I think I'm just nervous though about them just running all over the Rams defense. But I think it's
Yeah.
an opportunity. So, how about
Yeah,
you?
they're. I mean, and they right. Jameer Gibbs is a stud. I mean, they have Jameson Williams and Amon-Ra St. Brown. I mean, so. I mean, I think from an entertainment perspective, it could be so entertaining just
Oh
to
yeah.
see back and forth. I almost think it could be kind of like the Bills Rams game from last year. Remember that like 425 game?
Yeah.
That was right around this week in the season. It was
Hmm.
exactly right around this time. I just remember it because we went to the Eagles Panthers game, and then we stopped in a place on the way back, and the Bills Rams were playing, and it was just a back and forth duel, high score,
Perfect.
super
Yeah.
fun to watch.
Yeah.
So, um, yeah, I mean, hopefully we'll see. Let's get into predictions.
All right. So
I
you,
mean,
you
to me,
you
this
got
is
the lead right now, so you got to go first.
yeah, this is straightforward to me. I mean, so Eagles over Raiders. I'm gonna say, uh, gosh, I'm gonna say 20-13. Eagles over Raiders,
Okay.
and then Rams over Lions. Should have said more points against the Cardinals. I mean, if it was 45-17, I said 38-20. I was like,
Yeah. I thought you were
you
joking
said
too when you
35.
said 38.
No, I'm spot on. I'm gonna say in the 30s again. I'm gonna
Hmm.
say 34-27.
27.
Rams
All
over.
right. So start with the easy one. Eagles. I have them 21-10.
I was waiting for you
Um,
to be like, clearly the Raiders.
Raiders all the way, baby.
Eagles suck. What did you say? 21 what?
21-10.
21-10.
Yeah. And then the Rams, I'm taking over the Lions. I think it's going to be close though. I have the Rams at 35-32.
Okay.
I as much as I would love to see a nice spread there, I just the Lions make me nervous after the last couple of years, seeing them actually in Detroit. Um,
Yep.
I see Goff play pretty well whenever he plays the Rams. I think it's a little bit of a revenge type of situation, but
Yep.
this is also the worst Lions team we've played since the one back in 2021.
Yep.
So
It's true.
we'll see.
And this is the
I
best
think
you guys have been in the
it's the
last two
best.
times you've played them.
Yeah,
You guys didn't have Devontae last two times.
no. I think what makes me a little nervous too is they did just put up what 44 points. The Lions did. So
Yeah, they did.
yeah,
It
it's going to be a
depends. It
fun
depends
game, I
also
think.
kind of how legit do you take Dallas, right? I mean, Ryan thinks Dallas is the
I
greatest
don't
team in the world,
I
but
don't
like,
think Dallas's defense is they've always been offensive driven. Honestly, a lot like the Rams, just in their own style.
and dude, if you really think the Chiefs suck now, right? Because they're not good, and the Eagles aren't that good. The Dallas just beat the Raiders, Eagles, and Chiefs, and people were going, "Oh, dude, look, Dallas is so good," but the Eagles and Chiefs had over 100 yards of penalties each, and that's
Yeah.
what it took for Dallas to win by 3 points against each of them. and neither of those teams look that good. So you could easily discount Dallas as a legitimate contender if you wanted to. So.
All right. Well, I'll give a quick update. The only thing that changed is we all got one more win. So you and I are both at 12-10, and then Ryan is at 16-6. So we're 4 games back. You have the tiebreaker over me. But we're gonna gain one back.
It's gonna change this week. Where someone's going into last.
Yep, exactly.
Officially, game starts in 10 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah.
All right.
So,
well, we'll be back next week to discuss both. Well, we'll be discussing 3 outcomes actually next week. Should be fun, and then we'll be only 3 days away from Rams Seahawks in Seattle. So we got some
probably
exciting
for the division.
I'm excited. I can't wait. Yes, probably for the division. So, all righty.
That wraps up this week's episode of Coast to Coast Sports. Make sure to subscribe, hit that like button, and share the show with a fellow football fan. From Philly to LA and around the league, we'll be back next week with more sports talk.